Hello and welcome. We are recording for folks who cannot make it. Thanks for being on. We are so glad to see you tonight. We know that your most precious asset is your time, so we are going to get right to it. We're going to play a quick video and then we are going to have a chat. So let's take it away with our video. All right, thanks for tuning in. That is the video that Riman made when they launched themselves into North America. It's one of the 3 brand videos. They spent almost $800,000 making these videos to represent their brand. And that's one thing you're going to learn about Riman is they don't do anything halfway, especially with their marketing. So let's get into it a little bit. My name is Jen, and I have been with Riman 1 year. And we are not supposed to make any income claims. We are really not supposed to talk about our money. But I will say, a lot of us just went through tax season, right? I guess, gosh, it was last month now. And the income statement came in from Riman. I hadn't been with Riman a year. And was able to make over 6 figures in the very first 8 months of my business, which is mind-blowing and crazy, but it's not about me, it's about you. And you are here tonight to learn whether or not Riman is a good fit for you. Well, I'm here to tell you it has been life-changing for so many people as a skincare product and as an income. So however, this might not work for you. It might be the best thing that ever happened to you. We just ask you to listen tonight with an open mind, and we ask you to mute your videos. So if you are not a mute, I'm like whipping through here trying to see who's not muted, but just give yourself a little mute, and we appreciate that. All right, here we go. So let's talk real quick about this company and why so many of us have been able to really quickly make money here. This company is new. We are brand new. We came into Korea in 2018, made their way to the North American market just about a year and a half ago. So you are really here at the very beginning of everything. Now, in that tiny period of time, they've been able to do $3 billion, billion with a B, in revenue. I'm telling you, you know this, I'm sure most of you, most companies never hit the B. So to be able to do 3 billion in a tiny period of time is insane. This is the #1 K-beauty brand in the world. Korea is known for skincare. Korea is the toughest market to break into skincare in. And Riman was able to knock the number one company in South Korea off its perch. It had been number one for 70 years and become the number one K beauty brand. Now, there is a lot of Americanized versions of Korean skincare being sold here in the US at Sephora and Ulta and the department stores. I got news for you. That is not true Korean skincare. True Korean skincare has every single ingredient sourced out of the country of origin, South Korea, and they are formulated by the top formulators in the world who also come out of that country. So it is not as easy as you think to get Korean skincare, the true original stuff, and we have it. Over 40 million bottles were sold of just one product in South Korea. That is our ICD cream. Ask the person who invited you here about the ICD cream. It's incredible. I was born in the 1960s, and it is taking years off of my face and so many other people. And that's the reason, you guys, people ask, well, how are you able to make all this money so quickly? And how is this growing like crazy for you? It is the product changing faces. That is what's doing it here for us. And you're going to see some phenomenal before and after pictures. So like we said, brand new, they launched in North America in December of 2024. So a year ago, this holiday season. So what you're getting with us is something called first movers advantage. That is where you are here before most people have even heard of this. Over 90% of North America has never even heard the name Riman. That's going to change over the next year, but you are here first, and we're really glad that you are, because timing is to direct sales as location is to real estate, and you are here at the right time. And before even getting to North America, United States, Canada, and Mexico, before Riman even came here, they were already number 22 on the direct selling news top 100 list. And what that means is those are the top 100 direct sales companies globally, ranked 1 through 100, and number up in those top ranks, 1 through 25, are companies like Tupperware, Avon, Amway, Scentsy, Herbalife, all of the big, huge legacy companies that took Arbonne, that took, years and years and years to get themselves there. We did it in just a few short, not even 10 years. I'm going to turn it over. We've got a special guest speaker here with us tonight. Her name is Breanna Michael. She's a top leader in our industry, and I know she'll tell you the story. I love the way she talks about her start in the industry. Bree, tell them how you quit before you even started, because that's like the best story ever. And she could not see herself as, she did not join direct sales to become this huge influential leader. She joined to make, maybe a couple hundred extra bucks, but she had like zero self-confidence in herself, which I think is hysterical, because now she speaks on stages all over the world. Bree, take it away.
Well, thank you, Jen. I pay her well to say those nice things. Yeah, I mean, when I first got started, it was just what Jen said. Like, I didn't have any self-confidence. I was a people pleaser. I was extremely worried about what other people thought. And, there was a woman that I knew. She was my friend's mom, and she had been successful in the industry. And so she had, told me about network marketing. And I went to a meeting and I ended up signing up. I don't, just it sounded good in the moment. And then when my box came, I stared at it for 2 weeks and I was like not going to open the box. And I was like, there's no way. And because I was afraid of failure. And I decided to go back to the meeting to tell this woman that I was like, thank you so much for thinking of me, but I'm not going to do this. And I'll never forget in that moment her conviction. And she held up her finger and she said, Breanna, if you could see yourself where I see you a year from now, you would not be quitting. And she just spoke just a little bit of confidence into me. And I saw that she believed in me before I even believed in myself. And I went home that night and I opened up my box and I didn't know what I was doing. Because I was so scared to talk to people, and I would just put people in front of other people. I would direct people to the meetings and the calls. And that's how I ended up becoming successful in the industry. And of course, that was, almost 15 years ago. And I'm so grateful for this industry now because now I get to help the person that I used to be. And so, okay. So, if you are here tonight, bottom line, somebody did see something special in you, and that's why you're here tonight. But what we're going to talk about is Korean skincare. And, here's the thing is if you can make a lot of money when you partner with the right trends and the right timing. And the search for Korean skincare is up over 350%. And in North America alone, mind you. Well, if you can find a disruptive product, that's that's incredible. I mean, people created disruptive products around COVID, right? They created products or services around that. But if you can find a disruptive product category, it's a game changer. And that's what this is because we are on the cusp of Korean skincare going from a $13 billion industry in North America to more than doubling to over $30 billion. You can make a lot of money when you partner with the right trends and the right timing. So these are some of the brands that we're going to talk about. You can see the packaging is gorgeous, and we'll just kind of slide through these. And I have to tell you the story behind it, though. It has kind of a cool story. It was actually the #1 product formulator in Asia. He's the guy that would create innovative home run products. He was researching something called tiger grass because tigers would roll around in this because it would heal their wounds faster. Well, what happened was he had developed his own strain and technology of it. He actually has a patented species that he created. Do you know how hard it is to get a patent for a plant? It took him 3 years just to get the patent. Well, he has 12 different patents on the skincare. Normally, he would sell his research to the highest bidder, but he decided it was too good. He didn't want to give it away. That is when he ended up forming a company. They did almost $3 billion in Korea. I'm telling you, in the hardest market in the entire world to go #1 in, they became the #1 searched for Korean skincare line in Korea. In fact, they sold 40 million jars of this alone in a country the size of the state of Indiana. So it did just come to North America. It does have, when we have a lot of med spas who try this, estheticians, they're actually confused how they're seeing results so quickly. And it's because it is a cosmeceutical. What that means is cosmeceuticals can do things that regular skincare cannot do. So when you use this, the reason why it's considered that is because it uses a microfluidizing process. It goes to the deepest layer of skin and actually heals at the cellular level with the nanoliposomal technology. This has 12 different patents with 18 years of exclusivity on it. No one can duplicate this technology. But they took it a step further. They added in NMN that stimulates NAD in the body. If you've been on TikTok, you know that NAD is like the rage with anti-aging. It also has exosomes in it. Think of exosomes as little tiny messengers that are going to go tell your cells to create more collagen, create new cells, create healthier cells, like create, youthful looking skin. These are like little text messages to your body that NMN and exosomes are sending out. So I was on Zoom with a med spa owner, and his first question was, does it contain exosomes? And I said, yes, it does, along with NMN and 12 different patents. He said, I want to try this stuff. So you have never tried anything like this. I promise you, you'll see results in 5 days. So you can see these are the two different skincare lines. The one on the left is water-based, so it's really great for regular skin types, acne-prone, sensitive skin. Now the one on the right, that is for very, very dry skin. It's oil-based, or if you're already using an oil-based line, I'd go to this one. But the good news is they both abide by the European Union standards, but they go a step further. There's over 3,000 toxic ingredients that they ban from their skincare. And then, of course, does it work? Yes. This is my forehead on the left. My husband is in the middle. I honestly don't know if I'm more impressed with his pores or sunspots. And then you can see how it works on rosacea. You can see on the next slide how it works. This is my under eye, how it works on anti-aging. I love pages. It's more of a progression photo. So you can see this took 10 years off of her face in 5 months. And I know that we also have Kristen on here, right, Jen?
We do. Kristen Corbett's here tonight. So before we bring Kristen up, I just want to say, please let us know in the chat who invited you here tonight. So your full name and who invited you, because we are drawing for a prize that we will announce at the end. So let me tell you a little bit about Kristen Corbett. So she owns a beautiful salon in Orlando, Florida. I was lucky enough to go there. She gave my son the best haircut of his life. Thank you, Kristen. She is an esthetician. She is a hairstylist. She is a salon owner. She is a beauty professional and she knows skincare. She's probably used, I don't know, hundreds of brands over the years. And what we love is when the professionals come and join us and work with us because we get to really hear the real dirt from them. So Kristen, and also Kristen is a big leader here at Riman. She's built a large team. She's up in the leadership position. So tell us, Kristen, tell us all the things and thank you for being on.
Thank you, Jen. Thanks, Breanna. It's after 9 o'clock and I'm still going. Oh my gosh, I've been up since 5. I thought this call was at 8 tonight, but I'm just getting my energy going. So, yes, thank you. I am Kristen Corbett. I have my salon in Orlando, and I was with another skincare company for a long time, like over 10 years. And so I never thought that I would ever think about another skincare company. And then I was looking for another alternative, something clean. And then one day, is she on the call? Dr. Rimka, that's my girl. She started talking about skincare. And I'm like, what is she talking about? And she doesn't talk about skincare. What is going on here? And so the more and more I listened, I said, whatever she's doing and whatever she has, I need some of that. And I want to be partners with her. So it started with that. And I had no idea what this would blow up into in such a good way. Not only am I a hairstylist, but I am an esthetician. And I used to think that, and I was taught and trained that if you had a condition, you had to handle that with chemical. If you had acne, rosacea, any of the things, something else that was not necessarily clean, that was not necessarily, organic, all the things were going to help that condition. Well, I was wrong. So with this product, I am in absolute shock that it works so quickly and how it works on so many different conditions without having to use this for that and that for this, all the things. I am obsessed with the hair care as well. Obviously, I'm a hairstylist. So not only am I using this on myself, I have very, very fine, I wasn't, I was skipped over. Jen got the hair. I did not. So I'm loving the hair care, and I not only use it on myself, but I do use it at the salon. I use it at my back bar. And let me tell you, this bottle, I don't know if you can see it, this is 16.9 ounces. I don't care where you've gotten your shampoo, especially if you've gotten it through, a salon or a hairstylist. You're looking at about 8 ounces to 8.5 ounces for about $35 to $40. You're looking at double 16.9 ounces for $33. It's amazing. And so I love the old packaging. I thought it was great, but the new packaging, all my clients are like, wow. I mean, this looks like really upscale hotel style, and the price is still the same. So being a hairstylist, not only do I use it at the back bar, all my clients are getting this on their head, but I also am able to retail it at the salon, which is great. So if you know of a hairstylist or you know somebody that's in this business, they need to be retailing this. And I can always help people if they need the help with that. As far as selling to clients, I wanted to bring this up, and it's not something I've ever talked about before. I wanted to talk to you all about cost versus investment. Back in the day, I was always concerned about cost. What was that going to cost me? How was I able to afford that? And my mentality was a little bit different back then. And I've done a lot of growth along in the last 10 years. So in my mind, it was like, I can't afford that because it's going to cost me so much money. Well, let me give you the actual definition of cost. Cost is service or product that you pay for to be able to function as a business. So I was looking at the cost and I wasn't looking at the investment. So I just read to you what cost means. What investment means is a spend that you make to generate more money, profit, opportunity, or growth in that business. And because I changed my mindset, I have now invested in my business. And because I've invested in my business, I now have product that I use on me. I finally said, I want every single product. I want to try everything. And I also invested in product to share. And so now I get to share the product. And, some people have said, oh, well, Kristen, you work in a salon. It's so much easier for you. Well, let me tell you something. When someone comes into the salon, they are there to get their hair done. They are there to talk to me about all the things in their life. And they're probably buying hair products. So to incorporate another thing that they have to pay for isn't always easy. However, sometimes I have the ability to be able to put that product on their hand. Before, I never could do that. Why? Because I didn't invest into the product. So now, especially, which I know Breanna is going to talk about, we have this makeup. I now have samples that people can try at the salon. So whether you be a hairstylist or whether you are retired or a teacher, this is something that fits everybody in what they do. So I'm just so blessed that I'm on board with this. Thank you for having me tonight.
We're so blessed that you're on board with this. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing. Everyone, look at her glow, by the way. And Kristen, it's so funny. Like, you have the coolest hair on the planet.
Oh,
It is so fun and awesome and spiky and cute. And I know you do the whole thing with Riman, with the style and everything. It's absolutely remarkable. Thank you for sharing. I love when we have the professionals on and sharing their opinion, because we know you've seen it all, you've tried it all, and it's so nice that you're so happy. And thank you for letting us know about the investment that you made, because I know that it has paid off for you quite well. So thanks again for being here. And if anyone has questions for Kristen, you can put them in the chat, and we can definitely reach out and ask her and get you the information. Let's get back to the screen share. This is where it always gets dicey. There we are. Okay, we got back. Phew. You never know with me. All right, so we're going to talk to you a little bit more. Kristen talked about the hair care. It is remarkable. It's made with an ingredient. It's an algae that grows in the desert. So think about algae, right? That's supposed to be around water and like lots of hydration and stuff. So to grow in the desert, it has to be pretty darn remarkable. And it is. It's filled with antioxidants, with nutrition, with healing elements. That is one of the ways that the plant grows. And it is used to grow hair. Now, listen, we here in the US do not have a study around this. Okay. The study, it was done in South Korea, and it showed a 61% hair growth. So here in the US, we do not have that same study replicated. But what I will say is hair. And if it worked there, it's most likely going to work for us. And we're going to show you some before and after pictures to prove our point. And then our body care, absolutely remarkable. It has hyaluronic acid and collagen. If you don't know what hyaluronic acid is, it's not acid. It is something that the body makes in abundance in young, healthy skin. But as we age, it declines. So this body care is putting it right back into the skin. And our skincare is also filled with hyaluronic acid. You definitely want to get that calming balance gel to go with your set, because that is 8 molecular weights of hyaluronic acid to restore your natural supply. So the body care, let's take a look over here at our before and afters at what this does. So look at the hair care. This is scalp psoriasis after just one wash. You guys, if you leave here today and you do nothing else, Tell people about the scalp psoriasis. This is so embarrassing. This is a condition. This isn't my daughter, but it's a condition that my daughter had. I know a lot of people have it. She has beautiful, curly, gorgeous hair that she wore in a bun for 5 years because she was so embarrassed, or either that or a hat because she was so embarrassed by her scalp psoriasis. I wish I had this for her back when she was in middle school and high school, but look at that difference. And then this is our body care. Look at that in just, it's not even 2 months, right? April, May, June. Yeah, it is. It's about 2 months. This is a woman on the team who works outside, and she thought that nothing would ever help. And look at that. We have a story of someone on the team who hadn't worn a dress and shown her legs in many, I think it was 20 years because of cellulite. And she showed up at our convention sporting like a cute little sundress with sandals, showing off her legs, cellulite gone. This stuff is remarkable. And then, of course, look at the hair care, the hair regrowth. And we have so many pictures of all of this stuff. So please reach out to the person who invited you and make sure they add you to their testimonial group. If they don't have a testimonial group, make sure they send you some more before and after pictures because they're so fun to look at. All right, so this is a business. The products are remarkable and they pay us really well. So let's talk about the compensation plan quickly. Couple of things, and we have a full video that goes over the entire compensation plan. So ask the person who invited you here, we can get that into your hands. But just real quick, when you earn a rank, you don't lose it, you lock it in. So I don't know about you all, but if you've been in direct sales, typically what happens is at the end of a month, you go down to zero and you start the next month at zero instead of having a rank and having money. So here you never go to zero. Well, I should say, if you're working your business and making sales, you're never going to drop down to zero at the end of a month. We have rollover volume. When you hit these ranks at the higher compensation level, at the higher percentages, you keep them, locking them in. And the average customer orders 7 to 8 times a year. We don't have any required purchases. You know how there are sometimes companies that, well, you have to be on an auto ship if you want to get paid, or you have to order a certain amount every month, or every 6 months you have to buy 500. No, nothing. No subscriptions, no fees, nothing. All you have to do to join Riman is pay $20 to become an affiliate. And I just noticed that I didn't change the slide. It is not free this month, is it? Someone let me know. It is free this month in May.
Yes, it's free.
We continued it. All right, so I don't have to change the slide. It is free to join. So what are we even doing on this Zoom? Just go join because it's not going to cost you anything. And once you join, you can decide if you want to get a starter kit or not. There are starter kits to fit any budget. I will encourage you to stretch yourself the most that you possibly can within your budget because the kit that you buy becomes your joining story. And for the rest of your Riman career, people are going to say to you, especially your potential planners, we call us, we're consultants, planners, distributors, we call it planners here. They will ask you, what kit did you buy? And you want that to be a really good joining story. So stretch yourself, get back to the person who invited you and ask them how to get your kit. And I'm going to turn it back to Breanna. She had a very special experience with Riman. Oh, well, we're going to get to that. And we're going to talk about the future of Riman, but this is part of the future of Riman. Breanna, what are we doing here the past couple of months that's so exciting?
I mean, this is Korean skincare infused makeup. So that should really say it all. So while you're wearing this, you're getting those patented ingredients that's healing the skin. But let me tell you, this is makeup that makes it makes your makeup look like it's been airbrushed or professionally done. And now I understand why La Mer charges $150 for theirs at Neiman Marcus. Of course, this one that Riman has does not cost that much. It's $55 and it comes with a refill. And I'm telling you, this is like a filter for your face. We had a professional makeup artist. She's actually a celebrity makeup artist, has worked on film sets. She put this on. It completely makes your pores disappear. It is fascinating how it works. And so I don't know if we have pictures in here or not, but they also have a butter lip tint. This has HA in it to help repair the lips, and it has some of the patented ingredients in it. And so these, again, they tint your lips without drying out your lips. So this is here's what's really interesting to me. There's a few things that I look for when I'm evaluating a company. You know, one is timing. We kind of talked about that. We talked about the innovation. We talked about the marketing. You know, they believe in first class marketing, celebrity endorsements. Something else that's really important to look at is ownership. The owner of this company, we talked about him. He is the product formulator. He's also a billionaire that drives a Hyundai. You guys, he is not doing this for the money. He is passionate about bringing luxury skincare to the everyday woman. That is why this does not cost $300 to $400 because it should. I was just talking to a master esthetician who said for what this does, this should cost over $300. It's $60 because that is what's in line with his mission statement. This could have been sitting at Neiman Marcus or a med spa, but that wasn't what he wanted. And to prove it to you, his first year in business, he immediately took the profits from the first year and started construction on something called Riman Village. It's a 5-star resort where most owners would have gone out and bought a beach house, a jet, a yacht. He built this resort for us, for the affiliates to have events and retreats at. And we actually went here a few months ago, and they said that we were going to go tour the smart farm. And so I was thinking, okay, cool. We're going to go see this greenhouse with these plants and we're going to go to lunch. And we pull up. I don't know if we have a picture of the campus in here, but we pull up and it was an entire campus of buildings and manufacturing facilities. And I realized in that moment that this is bigger than direct sales. And this company is completely vertically integrated. And what that means is they own every step of the process, from the patents to the labs to the innovation. They even own the land. They own the smart farms. They even own the bottling facilities that make the bottles that the product is in. They have cut out the middleman. That is what vertically integrated means. They have more money to do things like marketing, celebrity endorsements, paying more into the comp plan because they've cut out the middleman on everything. And when we were standing here, I honestly had the question, okay, why are they in direct sales? And what I found out is that in Korea, they view direct sales very differently than we do, where they view it as a profession. It's very respected. And so Chairman On, who's the owner of the company, he had been involved with direct sales in his 20s and had fallen in love with it. He knew that he wanted to partner with this industry, and he has mapped out a 100-year vision on how he wants to become the #1 K-beauty brand in the world, and he wants to do it with us. And I'm telling you right now, he is not competing with other direct selling companies. He's not competing with New Skin or Arbonne. His competitors are brands like Chanel and Dior and La Mer. And I feel very honored that we have the opportunity to partner with something like this. I used to say that something like this came along once every 15 years. I'm telling you right now, I don't believe something like this will ever happen in direct sales again. And timing is to direct sales like location is to real estate, and you don't want to miss it.
Absolutely. So well said. Thank you, Bree, for sharing that with us. So we're going to wrap it up right here. Actually, no, we're not. We're going to give away 2 prizes. So we have our winners. We have Heather, I hope I don't butcher this name, Zevany. She is one of our guests tonight. Heather, you have won a Riman mystery product. You are going to want to reach out to the person who invited you here tonight. And our other winner is Sharon Nunnally. Congratulations, Sharon. You have also won a Riman mystery product. It just means that we don't don't know exactly what's going to show up, but it'll be something cool. And all you need to do is reach out to the person who invited you, and they're going to put you in touch with our team's assistant. And you're going to email phbarsamian@yahoo.com. I'll put that in the chat real quick. At yahoo.com, say, I want a Riman mystery product, and he'll get it out to you. So listen, we are moving really fast. This team is growing so quickly. We had a day, was it last week or the week before, where we added like 400 people to the team in a day. Like, it's just been insane watching this team explode. And you are hearing about this first. Literally, this hasn't taken off yet. It's taking off, but it hasn't taken off. So what are you going to do with this information? Now, think about your life and think about the times that you've heard of things first and maybe you didn't hop on. This is one of those times. And we want you a year from now to look back and be in full swing with us. We are working together. We are having fun. We are making it happen. We don't want you to look back in a year and say, oh my goodness, I was there at the beginning of Riman and I didn't take the leap. So you guys, let's lock arms. Let's get going. Reach out to the person who invited you here and let them know that you are ready to get started. Have an amazing night, everybody. Thanks, Breanna, and thanks, Kristen, for being on. And we will see you real soon right here in the Riman family. Bye, everyone.